Hey there, welcome back to my channel where we discuss all things tech. Today we're going to be looking at PlatformIO. PlatformIO is a platform that's been specifically designed for embedded software engineering and hobby electronics in order to make your life a lot easier. If you're new to PlatformIO, then this video is for you, so stick around. So, the first thing you might ask is what exactly is PlatformIO? In simple terms, PlatformIO is an open source ecosystem for embedded software development. It's a cross-platform IDE that supports more than 1,000 boards. One of the biggest advantages of using PlatformIO is that it provides a unified interface for multiple platforms. It eliminates the need to learn multiple tools and frameworks, making the development process much more streamlined. Okay, so let's get started with installing PlatformIO. First thing we're going to do is we're going to open Visual Studio Code. And then we're going to click on the Extensions tab on the left. In the search bar, you're going to search for PlatformIO. And we're then going to go and click Install. Now the first bit only takes a couple of seconds to install. So that's done. We can close the release notes. We can then go back to the Explorer, close the welcome note. And now we're going to click on the PlatformIO tab on that left-hand column that's now appeared. Now this part will take a couple of minutes for the first time for you to load. So we'll leave that to run through and install. You can see the progress down at the bottom right. Okay, so PlatformIO is nearly installed. There we go, it's done. We can now hit that Reload Now button just to restart Visual Studio Code. And we can see at the bottom here that PlatformIO is loading. And there we go, we have it. PlatformIO is now installed in your Visual Studio Code editor. Okay, so now we can actually create our new project. First thing, we might need to pull the sidebar down just to see the button. We've got this button, Create New Project. We're going to click that. Now that'll bring us into the actual PIO home IDE page. Just make this a little bit bigger here. And we'll wait just a second for the news to load. Here we go, the news is loaded. So you can get some small little blogs and whatnot in there. So we're going to click New Project up at the top right. Going to give our project a little name. Let's go with Example PIO. And then we're going to come down to the board. And we're going to put ESP32 is the board that we want to run. So we'll type ESP32. And we're actually looking for the ESP32 Dev module board. It's this second one here. Framework, we're going to keep as the Arduino framework for now. And then we're just going to click Finish. And that's the project created. So we can just press yes on this message, say we trust the authors. And then on the left-hand side here, in the Project Explorer, we can come down to the platform.ini file. Click on that. Let's go back to the ini file. So this is our project definition file. We can see here we've got the platform selected, the board set to the ESP32 dev board, and also the framework is set. So if we then come over to the File Explorer, we can go down to Source and open the main.cpp file. This is our template for our Arduino code. We can see here we've got the setup and the loop functions already added. Okay, so now we can actually put some test code onto the ESP32. So we're going to start off with, we're going to actually add a hash define onto the start of this code. And that's because we want to declare everywhere a value called LED. And that's going to be our onboard LED. On the ESP32, there's an LED, and that's at pin 2. So that's going to be hash define LED 2. We're then going to jump into our setup code here. In our setup code, this code only runs the once. And what we're going to actually add into this code is we're going to add a pin mode. So we're going to say pin mode, and we want the pin mode to be in output mode. That's because we want the LED to turn on. We don't need to read anything. So that's going to be pin mode, LED, output. Next, we can actually jump down into our main code. So that's the loop function down the bottom here. And what we actually want to do here is we want to actually write out to the GPIO to tell it to turn the LED on. So to turn it on, what we're going to do is we're going to do a digital write. So it's going to say digital write. We're going to say LED. And we're actually turning it on is the equivalent of saying set it to being high. So we're going to write high. We're then going to do a small sleep function just to let the Arduino know, okay, you can now wait. We're going to delay for 500 milliseconds, so half a second. Next, we're going to add our command to say to the LED to switch off. So we're going to put digital write again, and that's going to be LED. And we're going to set that to low. So what we've got now is we're going to say LED has gone high, wait for 500 milliseconds, LED go low. Now with the Arduino style code here, with the loop function, what we actually have is we're going to say, okay, we've set it to low, the loop starts again, and it's instantly going to be set back to high. So because that's going to happen instantaneously, we're not going to see the LED switch off. So we're going to add an extra delay here for another 500 milliseconds. And now what will happen is the LED will go high, we'll wait 500 milliseconds, the LED will go low, we'll wait another 500 milliseconds, and then we loop through again. Okay, so now we're actually going to build the project. This is quite simple. First thing we're going to do, we're going to come back over to the PlatformIO tab. And at the top here, we can see build. Just click that. It only takes a couple of seconds. There we have it. We can see the project's built. Okay, so now we're going to have a look at installing the drivers. You'll need to do this if you haven't done this before. When we come into Device Manager, we can see the device here, but it's showing as an error. You can click on this and try and update the drivers, but it's unlikely that this is actually going to work for the ESP32. So we're going to take that driver name that's there, and we're going to stick it into Google. First one that comes up, Silicon Labs, this is the one we want. I'll stick a link in the description. We can go to drivers, go to downloads, click on the Universal Windows driver. There we go, that's had it. There is a little README in here, but it's actually quite simple. All we need to do is we need to come back into the Explorer, right click on the INF file and click install. Now that'll install, it's quite quick. And it's done. And now when we go into Device Manager, we can see that we've got Silicon Labs and we've got COM-port 4. Now we can actually upload the code to the ESP32. So we're going to come back into Visual Studio and we're going to click on Upload in the Project IO tab. We can see here this is now uploading the code. Now I have to press the EN button on the corner of the ESP32 as it's booting, and there we go, it's now writing. You can now let go of that button. And that's written. There we go, got success. And we can now see, there we go, we have flashing LED going on and off every 500 milliseconds. So thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you got your ESP32 up and running, and then you can now upload code to it using PlatformIO.